Welcome to Bristol. Welcome to Short Trek Superleague's kickoff of their second season here tonight. First with the modifieds at the short oval of Bristol, and then later tonight we're going to continue racing for you with another broadcast of the truck series, and they will be running in. I'm drawing a blank, but we're going to be running the trucks after this race. This race here is the kickoff of the second season of the Tour Modifieds in the Short Trek Super League. Got to get my names right here. And we have a good field here tonight of 20 drivers registered for this race. As you can see on the left side of your screen, all of them have been out in practice. We are ticking away the final few minutes of practice here. Brandon Hughes currently shown the quickest driver on track. All right, so let's take a quick look here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. A short track of a little bit over a half a mile. It has a concrete surface, which is not exactly the preference for many drivers. It's a little bit slippery. It's a little bit less grippy than asphalt for sure. We have a ambient temperature here of 76 degrees Fahrenheit, a relative humidity of 56%, a partly cloudy sky, and the winds are 2 miles an hour, which is pretty much irrelevant. We are going to be looking at racing under the lights here. It's already getting dark and the track lights have been turned on. We're going to be doing a feature race of 100 laps. The guys will have the drivers, I should say, will have a qualifying session coming up shortly here in about 3.5 minutes. The qualifying will be the best of 3 laps, and their best time will determine the grid position, and we're going to start a 100 laps race after that. During the race, we will see restarts double file with the lapped cars being brought back to the back of the pack, so the lead cars will always have a clean start to race. Well, for some more valuable information here, the drivers have what they use here is a fixed setup. That means that they cannot alter the car as far as suspension settings is concerned. I'm fairly sure on the modifieds they can alter the brake bias a little bit. The brake bias is a device that distributes the brake pressure between the front brakes and the rear brakes. Now, you might wonder, why would you mess with that? Well, some drivers use the brakes very slightly coming into the turn, and by moving the brake bias a little bit to the rear, they can help that car to rotate in. Of course, if you overdo that, you're going to lose the back end and lock up the rear brakes. So it's a little bit tricky to work with. Not everybody does it. Not even everybody uses the brakes on tracks like these, but some drivers may find that useful. Another thing to know for this race is that the tires will be limited to 2 sets for the 100 laps. So drivers do not have unlimited access to tires. They're going to have to do this on 2 sets of tires. Fuel capacity is set at 100%, and I'm not exactly sure what the pit window will be for fuel, but I'm fairly sure we're not going to make this on one fuel tank. The pit lane speed limit is 35 miles an hour, and during practice I've watched these guys go by and check their speeds on the main straightaways. These modifieds are running right around 140 to 145 miles an hour. So the pit lane entrance also is noteworthy. If you look at the entry on your left side there, that is the exit of turn 2. And that's where the cones are that indicate the beginning of the pit speed limit. Excuse me. And that means that the drivers, when they pit, they have to pretty much run entirely along the backstretch. Then through turn 3 and 4, stay on the apron, and then on this side, the main straightaway, that's where their pits will be. We have 20 drivers, so I doubt that anybody will be using pits on the other side, and it doesn't look like anybody is there at all, as we currently have a 21st driver coming into the show tonight. So the drivers, the pit lane for that matter is quite long for these guys. It's pretty much 3/4 of a lap. It's pretty much the entire lap without turn 1 and 2. So when they exit the pits here in turn 1, that's where they see the green cones, and that's where the pit speed limit will end. All right, we're going into qualifying currently. And the drivers will be doing qualifying individually. They will not be able to see each other, but we can pick up anybody that's getting ready to go, and we can pick up whichever driver is active on the track. So the first one out here that I see is the 111 of Brandon Hughes coming out for his first qualifying attempt. Or lap, I should say. Obviously, one warm-up lap, and then he gets he gets 3 laps to set a time. The reason they sometimes do 3 laps is because the track is fairly short, and it gives them a little bit more opportunity to get some heat in those tires. All right, currently we see Wyatt Sapp in the 46 car. He is on the provisional pole, and it's Jordan Berry in the number 7 car that has posted the second time of 14.33. And Brandon Hughes, that we just saw coming out earlier in the 111, has posted the 4th time so far, and it does look like he is back in the pits already. And currently then we see Blake Mosley taking over that provisional pole. Jake Brooks now jumping to the top of the charts here. And it looks like we have 11 drivers so far that have posted a time. And Brooks is still on the provisional pole. Let's see a little bit further back here, the Michael Steffen in the 669 car. I do believe he's running in the 97 on his paint scheme there. That might be a little bit confusing, but we'll make do with it tonight. Jacob Shockley in the number 48 car. That means we have... no, I thought we had another 48, but we don't. Jacob Shockley is currently in the 9th position, and meanwhile, it looks like Kyle Eli has taken over that provisional pole with a 14.151, and that is the quickest lap time so far. Jake Brooks is now in 2nd. It's Michael Steffen in 3rd, Blake Mosley in 4th, and Corey Stansel is in 5th. And then we have, we have 18 drivers that have posted a time. It looks like Jason Cole is out there. He's just come in. And then we have Andrew McKenzie still out there, late entry here. And he is driving the 019 car. And it looks like he is going to be posting his first time as we come around here. You can see the Nerf bars there scraping the concrete on the turns every now and again. That means that the suspensions are fairly soft on this track. And it looks like McKenzie is bringing that car up to the 17th spot. Ooh, almost losing it there on his 2nd lap. And I do believe he's not aware of the fact that he has 3 laps to try. Kyle Eli is back out on track. He's already posted the fastest lap time, but he's probably just taking advantage of the 5 minutes allocated time and see if he can figure out where the grip is tonight. We'll probably see drivers running on the bottom line a lot. And as you can tell, that concrete can get pretty slippery. Track temperatures are not too high, but they're also, I mean, they're not terribly high, but it might affect the grip they're having. So I think we're going to be seeing people driving in that lower line and maybe in that middle line in the turns. But when you get very high up, you'll find yourself looking for grip desperately, and that part of the track just barely ever gets rubbered in, so we probably won't see the guys drive that high. All right, we have a little bit less than a minute here, and it looks like Andrew Mackenzie has qualified himself now on the 9th position, so not a bad attempt for him at all. Let's bring up that race information for you once again. The track temperature is 78. That is a pretty cool track, and it looks like we're getting ready to go here. And that'll bring up we'll bring up the grid here for you in just a few seconds. And it looks like we have 21 drivers taking the starts. The only one that didn't post a time is the number 20 of Bob Garofolo. He did not post a time in qualifying. All right, qualifying has finished. That means we can bring up the grid for you and take a look at who's who and what's what. And while we see the cars lining up there behind the pace car, let's go through the grid here real quick for you. It's Kyle Eli on the pole. Jake Brooks will be alongside him. On the second row, it'll be Michael Steffen and Blake Mosley on the outside. On the third row, it'll be Corey Stansel and Wyatt Sapp. On the fourth row, it'll be Jordan Berry and Brandon Hughes. On the fifth row, it'll be Andrew Mackenzie and Jacob Shockley. Sixth row for Bradley Miner and Byron Bartlett. Then on the seventh row, we have Robert Smith and Kevin Anderson. On the eighth row, Samuel Fontaine and Matthew Telder. On the ninth row, it's Jeff Horniak and Kevin Davis. On the 10th row, Jason Coe and Robert Almy. And the final qualifier is Bob Garofolo with no time posted. All right, it looks like everybody has gridded up here. We are getting ready for the new season of the Short Track Super League Modifieds here at Bristol. We're going to be doing 100 lap, and after this race, we will take you right into their truck race. And let me see if I can still find out where it is. I was just drawing a blank here. Don't you have those senior moments as well? The truck race will be at Richmond. So right after this race, we will be jumping over to the broadcast in Richmond for the truck race. And this race will should be ending, probably right within the hour or something like that. All right, double checking all connections here. It looks like we're in good shape. We're doing 2 warm-up laps here in Bristol because it's only a half a mile track. And it looks like the cars are really nicely lined up. The waving that they do is to try to get a little bit of heat in those tires, but on concrete it's really not going to matter that much. And it looks like we have a good field here, big field, 21 cars on a half-mile oval. So we're going to be looking at some different scenarios in action and incidents here, I'm sure. All right, the pace car is into the pits. We are getting ready to get this show on the road. And there we go. It looks like Jake Brooks and Kyle Eli are side by side going into turn 1 already. Kyle Eli is taking the lead in front of Jake Brooks and Blake Mosley in third. And then it's Michael Steffen in fourth. It's Wyatt Sepp in the 5th position and Corey Stansel alongside him in the 6th position with 111 of Brian Hughes on his outside. Looks like they're running side by side there for 6th position. Oh, we have a car going around, and that looks like we're going to have our first yellow here. It looks a little bit worse than just one car going around, and it looks like Andrew Mackenzie is in trouble there, and Bartlett. Let's bring that back for you and see if we can figure out what's going on. You're looking at Jordan Berry in the 7. He gets touched by the orange car. I can't really tell who that is right now. That was Bartlett, Byron Bartlett. Let's bring it back for you one more time here. The orange car of Bartlett and the 7 of Jordan Berry. They're coming off of the 3rd and 4th turn there. The 019 seems to be pushing a little bit as well. Ooh, and the 91 gets caught up in the fencing there, and it looks like Jordan Berry is getting a pretty bad end of that. Let's see if we can find Jordan. He's still running. And it looks like we have Byron Bartlett in the pits to take some repairs. And the same is true for Kevin Davis, that couldn't avoid the incident, and Andrew McKenzie in the 019. We saw him in front of the 91 there. Actually, that is the 16. If you read them upside down, it's 91. Another senior moment here. All right, let's take a look here at the front of the field. Kyle Eli is the leader, and it looks like Jake Brooks has picked up the second position, and Blake Mosley is still in third, and Mike Steffen still in fourth. Then it's Wyatt Sepp in fifth, Brandon Hughes in sixth, Jacob Shockley. Jordan Berry has stayed out, and he doesn't seem to be affected by this incident all that much. Hopefully his suspensions are all right. Then it's the 81 of Kevin Anderson, and Robert Smith in the 08 rounds out your top 10. We are on lap 60 in this race currently. Lap 6 of 100. I was trying to say that. And let's see, Corey Stansel. Looks like Corey has left the race. He is out. And Bartlett and Davis are still in the pits. And so is Andrew McKenzie. It doesn't look like they're damaged all that bad, but they're taking repairs evidently. It's a little hard to tell. Davis here in the 21. We'll have to wait and see if they are coming back out. They're lining them up already here, right behind the pace car. Double file restart. There shouldn't be any lapped cars just yet, at least not running. It looks like Stansel, McKenzie, and Bartlett have all decided to call it a night already. Kyle Eli on the inside there. Jake Brooks by his side, and it looks like Kyle is getting an early jump here on the guys, pulling away a little bit, and it's Jake Brooks, Blake Mosley, and Michael Steffen in fourth position. Wyatt Sapp is in fifth, and it looks like Hughes is coming for him already with Jacob Shockley right behind there. Jordan Berry has a good restart, passes Shockley for seventh position on the middle side there. Looks like he's got good grip there. That's a little bit surprising. I didn't expect that. Fresh tires. They should be up to working temperature already. It's Eli still in front, and it looks like Brooks is trying to get to him with the quickest lap there in the purple figures there. You can see that means he's running the quickest lap of the race currently, but they're pretty evenly matched with a 14.22 both. And they're pulling away from Mosley and Steffen here. Mosley in the third position now, leading the pack of Steffen, Hughes, Sapp, Berry in seventh. Berry goes for the high side here, trying to get around Wyatt Sepp, and he does so. That's a good move from Jordan Berry, picking up that sixth position here. And it looks like Sepp was in trouble because Shockley got around him as well. And up front, it's still Eli and Brooks. They're running fairly close together here. Blake Mosley a little bit further back, and it looks like Steffen and Hughes are following him, and then a little bit of a gap to Jordan Berry, but Jordan Berry just passed two cars, and he looks pretty strong here in the early stages of the race. Let's bring her back up front. Kyle Eli in the number 18 car. He is running in the first position, and behind him it's Jake Brooks. And let's roll along here with Brooks for just a little bit. You can see the sparks flying. The chassis are scraping on the concrete there. Right around 140 miles an hour on the end of the straightaway, coming into the turn, lifting just a little bit. And it looks like we have another caution. Let's try and figure out really quickly what has been happening. It is the 22 car that gets it all wrong and turns it around. Let's bring that back for you really quickly here. The 22 car coming off turn 4, oversteering too early on the gas, noses it into the wall, and from that big puff of smoke, you can read out of that the engine is pretty much gone. There are no fast repairs in this series, so it is what it is. And that probably means that that car of Robert Almy is going to be out of the race. Yes, indeed. And that brings us back to catch our breath here. It's Kyle Eli still in front with Jake Brooks in the second position there in the number 57 car. I'm not sure if he's got the right number on that paint job. No, he doesn't. He has the number 3 on there. And then it's Brandon Hughes that brought the 111 past Michael Steffen. Steffen is now in the 4th position in that 97 numbered car. On your on the list on your left, it'll show 669. Then we have Jordan Berry, and Jacob Shockley is in 6th. Then it's Wyatt Sepp in the 7th position. It's the 8th of Kevin Anderson, the 81 of Kevin Anderson in 8th. It's Matthew Telder in 9th, and it's Robert Smith in 10th. And they're lining them up already. The lights on the pace car are still on. Guys are getting eager to go. Lap 19 of 100. And it looks like Jeff Horniak has gone to the pits in the 61 car. Not sure if he's taken tires. I couldn't tell, but he's back out again. So let's bring her back up front. Another pace lap. The lights are still on. And that means that Jeff will have to wait until he gets an open pit sign. And he won't get that until the other drivers have gone by. And as he is a lap down, he's going to have to be at the tail end of the field anyway. As said, they only have 2 sets of tires. They are going to have to make them last all race long, or at least half the race if they want to change them. And let's see if the lights on the pace car are going out now. Yes, they are. That means we're going to go racing at the end of this lap. Kyle Eli still in the front here. Jake Brooks is alongside him. Then it's Brendan Hughes in the green and black car. Then it's Michael Steffen in the black and red car there on the outside. It's Jordan Berry in the white car on the inside. And then it's Shockley in the black car on the high side. Coming off the final turn here, pace cars diving into the pits. It's Kyle Eli once again getting a good start and a good jump on the guys behind him. Jake Brooks slots in the 2nd position right behind him. Then it's Brandon Hughes in the number 111, and it's Jordan Berry picking up a position from Michael Steffen, and he pushes on into 4th position. It looks like Jordan Berry is looking pretty strong here. In all, he's already picked up 3 positions, and Brandon Hughes has picked up 5 positions since the start of this race. So that's that they're doing good work over there. And it's Kyle Eli that's running the fastest lap now. And it looks like Jake Brooks is hanging with him with a couple of car lengths, maybe 1.5 car lengths in between there. Sparks flying again. Brandon Hughes in the 3rd spot. Jordan Berry right behind him. Then it's Michael Steffen, and he's got Jacob Shockley to worry about, as well as Wyatt Sepp in the 46 car right behind Shockley. So let's keep an eye on these guys here. Ooh, Sepp is running a little wide there. It looked like he tapped the wall. I couldn't tell for sure, but those big wheels are obviously a little bit of a cushion and not damaging any sheet metal. I guess you can call these open wheel cars, although the bars on the sides prevent those guys from hooking up. Eli still in front, Brooks in 2nd, it's Hughes still in 3rd. He looks like he's gaining a little bit on Brooks, and Jordan Berry is still in 4th, and we have another incident. Let's see if we can find out what is going on. Ooh. Can't really tell who that was. there is the 08, and that is Robert Smith. Let's see and if we can bring back what happened. He is right behind. Oh, and it's kind of the same thing as we saw earlier. Coming off the turn on the gas, he basically does this on his own, and then he makes a major mistake by going out and trying to get around, and collects one of the guys that is still running at fairly high speed. And once again, the puff you saw coming out of that car, that's the engine blowing up, so it's fairly evident that Robert Smith is done for the night. And that's one thing I believe, especially on these short and tight tracks, that drivers really need to be careful about. You know, if you make a mistake, you know, you're going to just have to wait until the guys that are running pass by. Don't move your car in front of others that have nothing to do with the incident. You're ruining people's races for no reason whatsoever. And if you just wait till everybody gets by, you get back to the back of the pack. I mean, you're going to be in the back of the pack anyway, so one or two cars extra in front of you doesn't really matter that much anymore. Fortunately, no such problems at the top here. It's still Kyle Eli in the 18 car leading the pack, and it's Jake Brooks in second, Brandon Hughes hanging on to that third spot, Jordan Berry in fourth, then it's Michael Steffen in fifth, and it's Jacob Shockley in sixth. It's the 46 of Sapp in seventh, Matthew Telder is in eighth, Kevin Anderson in ninth, and Samuel Fontaine is in the 10th position in the 91 car. That's the red car you see there. Lap 31 of 100, 1/3 of the race down, and we've already lost quite a few drivers. We have 16 drivers still running. We have Robert Smith still sitting in the pits, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere anymore. They can wait for the repairs, obviously, but iRacing calculates those repairs, and they might be fairly extensive. And then it's Jeff Hornyak that is back in the pits in the 61. He is taking tires now, so that's his final set of tires that he's going to get on. And he's doing both left and right with only 31 laps behind our belt. That seems to be fairly early, but I guess he's spun around in that final incident as well, and that means he just wants fresh rubber and have another go at it. And I guess he's still waiting on some repairs as well. And meanwhile, the lights on the pace car have gone out. The guys are lining them up double file here. It's Kyle Eli in the lead with Jake Brooks up top. Then behind him, it is the 111, the green and black car of Brandon Hughes down below. And up top, it's the white car of Jordan Berry. Pace car will be going in here. There he goes. And Eli is early on the gas. It looks like he's kind of taken Jake Brooks by surprise, pulling away a couple of car lengths already. Brooks in second. Berry picks up that third position right away. And that means that Shockley has gone down. Shockley is also past Hughes, and Hughes has dropped back to the fifth position here in the 111 car. And Michael Steffen is in sixth. And I do believe Shockley has had a wonderful start here in that 48 car. It's Kyle Eli still in front. It looks like Brooks is reeling him in already, and Jordan Berry running very strong there in third position right behind Brooks. Shockley in fourth, dropping back a couple of car lengths. Then it's Hughes. He is staying with Shockley, and Steffen is staying with Hughes as well. A little bit further back, it is Telder and Sepp fighting for the 7th and 8th position. Let's bring her back here up front. Eli still in the lead, and that guy behind him there, that is Jake Brooks running in the second position, and the white car you see in the distance, that is Jordan Berry. Lap 39, and it looks like Brooks is inching towards him a little bit. And it looks like Jordan Berry is coming under threat a little bit of Shockley and Hughes. And it looks like Berry is running a little bit higher line. He seems to be comfortable up there. He looks like he's not bringing it down all the way. Ooh, and then it's Shockley almost losing it there off of turn 4. Let's bring that back for you. Yeah, almost loses it. And there must have been another incident because we are back under yellow again. And that is the 46 car. Ooh. Taking the 81 with him, and the 81, that would be... That is Kevin Anderson that he took out with him. So here you see the 46, and he spins it around. Let's bring it back a little bit further. He is racing for position here with the 08 car. He comes off the turn, gets on the gas a little bit too eager. You'll see this here in the next turn. He's in the middle lane there. He gets on the gas in the middle of the turn, it looks like, and he swings that back end around, can't save it, and he collects the 81. And that looks like the 81 is an innocent victim of that crash. And Sepp may be able to get back in the race, but it looks like it's over for Kevin Anderson in that 81. He is taking tires. He's hoping for repairs, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to be working. Let's see what happened to our leader. It looks like some of the guys went into the pits. Stefan has been in the pits. Kyle Eli has been in the pits. Jordan Berry has taken a pit stop as well. Let's see. Jacob Shockley has been in the pits. Then the guys, Jason Coe is in the pits, Kevin Davis is in the pits, and then the guys behind there are already out. So we've lost quite a few of these guys already. We currently have 14 drivers left in the race. So by the process of elimination, we have lost 7 drivers already, and it looks like Wyatt Sepp is still waiting in the pits on repairs, and so is Kevin Anderson. We'll have to wait and see whether they can bring them back. That brings Brandon Hughes in the lead in the 111 car, but Jordan Berry is already back up in 4th with a whole bunch of drivers coming along with him into the pits, and it looks like Jordan Berry has come off the pits really quickly because he is in front of Kyle Eli and Jake Brooks. So that gained him 2 positions, and he is the first of the drivers that have pitted. There's only 3 drivers in front of him that have not pitted. And the first one is the 111 of Brandon Hughes, then it's the 02 of Matthew Telder, and the 24 of Bradley Miner, and then the first one that has pitted is Jordan Berry, so he came off pit road very strong. Lights on the pace car are out. The guys are going to line them up double file here. It's Brandon Hughes now on the bottom of the front row with Matthew Telder in second. It's going to be Bradley Miner on the inside of row 2 with Jordan Berry on the high side in that number 7 car. And behind them, it's Jake Brooks and Kyle Eli. Kyle Eli on the high side. And it looks like the field is not really bunching up all that well here. Maybe they have to be single file there. There we go. Brandon has a good start. Matthew Telder as well. And then it's Jordan Berry right away there on the higher side, challenging for second place. He scrapes the wall there just a little bit, but he gets alongside Matthew Telder on the high side. And it looks like he's challenging for second place on the high side of Telder there. And it's Kyle Eli coming along right with Berry there. Kyle is on the lower side in the 18 car, so Kyle has had a good start past Miner and Brooks on that restart. And it looks like Jordan Berry is slotting in line now. It looks to me like Berry is liking that higher side a little bit better than the other guys. And Brandon Hughes still in the lead. He's got about a half a second on Matthew Teller. Kyle Eli now coming for second place. Oh, not sure if they touched, but it definitely looks like Matthew Teller is losing it there. And we have another caution. Let's see if they touched. Let's bring that back up a little bit closer here. Yes, they definitely touched. It's Eli giving the O2 a little tap there. The O2 gets into the fence and gets collected by the 20 that doesn't seem to find a way around him. And this is what I meant earlier. He stays there until the track is clear and then he gets going. And it's really in his own interest because now he can continue on. And it doesn't even look like he's getting into the pits. So good thinking for Matthew Teller. He keeps his car intact that way. And he is going into the pits. And that is, yeah, that's a good pit entry. Hopefully he's not speeding. He's bringing it in. Who else do we have? We have Bob Garofalo in the pits. That's the number 20 car that ran into him. So he's trying to get repairs here. And then Kevin Anderson, he is still in the pits. So I don't think we'll see him moving again. Kevin Davis, no, he's not in the pits. Wyatt Sapp is out of the race. And Brandon Hughes is your leader. The 111 car with the green bars on the side. Then it's Kyle Eli in the 18 car. Then it's Jordan Berry in the number 7. It is Jake Brooks in the 669 or number 3 as you see it. I'm sorry, that's the 57. Jake Brooks, that's he's got the 3 on the sides. And then it's Michael Stefan in the 97 car. It's Jacob Shockley in the 48. It is Samuel Fontaine in the 91. It's Matthew Teller coming back out in 8th position despite his misfortune there. And it's Bradley Miners who is still in the pits. And Garofalo is still in the pits. So we're losing them fairly quickly here. Kevin Davis is running. He'll be brought to the end of the line. Brandon Hughes, your leader. Coming on down the main straight, it looks like we're going to get ready to go. The lights on the pace car are out. They're lining them up double file once again. On the bottom, it is Brandon Hughes, your leader. Then it's Kyle Eli on the outside of the front row. It's Jordan Berry on the inside of the second row in the white number 7. Then it's Jake Brooks on the high side in the black car. Then on the third row we have Michael Stefan on the bottom in the red and black car, and then it's Jacob Shockley in the black and white car on the high side. So Brandon Hughes, it's up to him now to get this show back on the road. We're on lap 55, so we've passed the halfway mark here. Ooh, Brandon, it looks like Kyle is getting a little bit of a jump start there, and I hope that's not going to give him a penalty. He's not supposed to be passing on that high side before they get the signal. It looks like Kyle Eli is okay, though. He is on that lead now. And it looks like Hughes is also being passed by Jake Brooks on the high side. Still side by side. Jordan Berry is waiting in 4th there. And it looks like Hughes and Brooks are losing a little bit on the leader. It's Brooks now in the 2nd spot, and it's Jordan Berry coming along around the 111 as well. He picks up the 3rd position once again. So Jordan Berry, I'm thinking he is running a very strong race. He's running the high line very comfortably. Most of the other guys are staying a little bit lower. Oh, it looks like we lost Jordan Berry with the connection issue here for just a little bit. Brandon Hughes coming back underneath him now, but the 7 comes off the turn a lot better on that high side, and I hope he's not running too high there because that would, it's got a bit of a connection issue. Let's stay around here with Brandon Hughes. Now it looks like Berry has got that 3rd position fairly solidly in hand. Hughes having a little bit of a moment coming off the turn. Hughes is running that lower line, and Berry is running that higher line, and it looks like Shockley is also running that higher line, but he just got passed by the 669 of Michael Steffen. So Shockley dropping back to 6th. It's Samuel Fontaine in the 91 following him. Kyle Eli is in the lead here. He's got about a half a second on Jake Brooks in the 2nd position. Jordan Berry is in 3rd. Quite a bit of a gap between Berry and Brooks, and Berry has Hughes to worry about in the 1-1 car right behind him. Ooh, Hughes scraping the wall there, losing a little bit of speed, but he's coming back strongly in the turn. Michael Steffen now in the 5th position. Jacob Shockley in 6th, Samuel Fontaine in 7th, and Matthew Teller is hanging on to 8th position there, and he's got the 21 of Kevin Davis behind him, but that's not for a position. The 21 is a lap down. Kyle Eli in the lead, a little bit over half a second. Jake Brooks in 2nd, Jordan Berry still running that high side there with Hughes following closely. And Berry seems to be comfortable on that high side, and Hughes is bringing it down, and he doesn't seem to be able to get closer to that number 7 car right now. And then right behind them, it's Michael Steffen and Shockley in the 48 car. Samuel Fontaine is closing out that row in the 91 car. Bring her back up here, the Jordan Berry defending his 3rd position from Brandon Hughes. And it looks like there is almost a second between Jake Brooks and Kyle Eli now. They're starting to pass the back markers. That is the... Ooh, let me see. That is the purple car there. That's a back marker. Can't see who it is that quickly. Jordan Berry is still in 3rd, running that high line very strongly, being followed by Brandon Hughes, and even though the door is wide open, that 111 car cannot take advantage of it. That means that Jordan Berry is running good and has good grip on that higher side. And once again, he's going to be passing a back marker here fairly soon. And actually, that is Jake Brooks that they're reeling in. Yes, that's Jake Brooks that they're reeling in. That's the 57 car that is losing on Kyle Eli quite a bit. Kyle is now almost a little over 1.5 seconds in front, and Brooks has been caught up by Jordan Berry. So Berry is doing good business here. Hughes is dropping back a little bit now, and he's going to have Michael Steffen to worry about. And then Jacob Shockley and Samuel Fontaine are still following in 6th and 7th position. Brooks is now definitely coming under threat of Jordan Berry. There you have the 54 back marker. Let me see if I can find. That's Jason Coe. And he makes way for the leaders. Makes sure that they can get by without too much trouble. And then it does look like Brooks runs away from Berry a little bit. Quite a good green stretch that we're having now, so tire wear and tire temperatures are going to become a factor here. It looks like Hughes is finding a new wind here, and he brings it back a little bit closer to Berry. Michael Steffen hanging with these guys. It's still Shockley and Fontaine. Fontaine is coming to the inside. Can he get underneath there? No, he cannot. He has a bit of a wiggle coming off the turn. And Brooks is walking away from Berry again. So looks like Berry is... Ooh, Brooks has almost lost it there. Let's see if we can bring that back real quick. He comes off the turn. He's on the high side. Oh, it was the next one. I went back a little bit too far. But here you'll see it. He comes off the turn, gets a little sideways, but he catches it beautifully. And we're back. Oh, and it looks like he finally went off. That is Jake Brooks. Let's see what happened there. He is coming off turn 4, and he goes off completely by himself. And it looks like Hughes is getting in trouble there as well. Let's bring that back for you really quickly. There you see Brooks going off, and then it's Hughes that has to avoid the mayhem there, and he almost loses it. We're not going yellow because the incident was not on the racing line. So this is good news for Kyle Eli. He's now almost 2.5 seconds ahead. It's Jordan Berry picking up the second position in front of Michael Steffen, who is now in third. And that brings Samuel Fontaine in the 91 in fourth position, with Hughes and Brooks trying to scuffle back and make up for lost time there. So Jordan Berry running strong. He's coming back on back markers once again. He's going underneath the O2 there. He brings Michael Steffen right along with him. So the battle for second place between Jordan Berry and Michael Steffen. It looks like these guys are evenly matched. Kyle Eli is now almost 3 seconds ahead. Hughes is still in fifth, and Brooks is fallen further back. He's now 11 seconds behind Brandon Hughes. So I'm fairly sure that tires will have been a problem. I'm sorry, he's not that far back. Yes, he is. He is. He dropped back behind the leader even. So he's also pretty much a lap down. So Kyle Eli is way out in front, almost 3 seconds in front of this man. That's Jordan Berry in the number 7 car, running very strong here tonight. Michael Steffen is in the third position, and it's Samuel Fontaine in fourth. Brandon Hughes further back in the 111 car is in fifth, and it's Jake Brooks in sixth. Let's bring her back to Jordan Berry and Michael Steffen. They're fighting for that second position. And the black car you see behind them, that is Jake Brooks. So that is not for position. Jake Brooks has been lapped. Michael Steffen now showing a little bit of muscle, trying to intimidate Jordan Berry, trying to get alongside him. Berry still likes that high line, but it looks like he's becoming a little bit more defensive now because Michael Steffen is really looking to get into that open door there. Berry is running really strong on that higher line. And that, I find that a little bit surprising. Ooh, and it looks like Michael Steffen almost lost it there, got on the apron, saved it, and he hangs on to third, but he's losing a little bit of ground there. And it looks like Jake Brooks has gone off once again. Let's see that. Yeah, he's losing out here, and he wants to go into pits, and then he realizes he's really not going to go there. He doesn't want to go there after all. He gets back on the apron and gets back going. Now he's coming back in. That's a little bit odd. Maybe he was still going too fast and he didn't want to get a speed penalty. That's probably what it is. So Kyle Eli is still up front. We're talking lap 95. So next time by, it's going to be 5 laps to go. Jordan Berry in second. Michael Steffen still in third. Samuel Fontaine in fourth. It's Brandon Hughes hanging on to that fifth position. So Kyle Eli is well out in front now. It's a little bit under 3 seconds to Jordan Berry, and Samuel Fontaine has picked up a position from Michael Steffen. Michael Steffen looks like he's been off. Let's check that out real quick. Yep, same thing. Gets off the turn, gets on the gas too early, hits the inside wall, and I hope he didn't bend that suspension too bad. It looks like he's still running, but he's not running very fast. He's going to just try to hang on and see if he can make it to the line, because we're already on lap 98, 99 now. 2 laps to go for Kyle Eli. Jordan Berry is about almost 4 seconds behind there now, working his way through traffic. Let's bring her back up to the leader, because he's got the same issue. He's dealing with traffic. The white flag is out. Kyle Eli is your leader. He's going to bring it home in first position if nothing serious happens here on that final lap. Kyle Eli brings it home in the first spot. And then in the second place, it's Jordan Berry coming off turn 4 here. Fireworks already going off. It's going to be Samuel Fontaine bringing it home in third. Then it's Michael Steffen in fourth. Brandon Hughes is shown in the pits. He is classified here as fifth, and then it's Shockley in sixth, Telder in seventh, Brooks is in eighth, and then it is Davis, Horniak, and it's going to be Bradley Minor in 11th. All right, so let's bring up your race results here really quickly. Let's see if we can find Kyle. And I'm sure Kyle's going to be doing some donuts here tonight. He is back around at the finish line. And no donuts tonight, I guess. All right, so there's your results, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can find some people to talk to. And I'm trying to see if I can find Kyle. It doesn't look like he's here. And let's go and check on Jordan. Let me see here. I can't seem to move him. Kyle Eli is here, and I can't seem to move him.
Loose.
Hey, Kyle, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, I can't seem to move you into my room, but that's why I'm coming down to your room. Kyle, tell me about this race, man. It looked like you were fairly in control once you got to the lead.
Yeah, we started on pole there and led basically all the laps until lap 45, and came down to get some tires because we had one set to use. And I think I restarted like sixth, and pretty much retained the lead pretty shortly after that. But when it came to around lap 70, the bottom got really loose, and I'm really surprised there wasn't a caution because car got basically wrecking loose on the bottom. Couldn't really drive there, so I was entering a little above, like in the middle lane, and then trying to cut the corner down to get as much speed as I can. And sometimes, some laps I was losing a lot of speed to second place, but it seems like lap traffic was helping me a lot there too.
Yes, indeed, it looked like that because your lead was right around 3 seconds, a little bit under every once in a while, but it seemed to me that it was fairly stable there, and like you had it pretty much in control. So, that obviously there was room for a little bit of losing time, feeling loose, and there was plenty of guys going off. They just weren't blocking the race line, so it wasn't going yellow.
Yeah, I saw some people like I think Michael. I ended up lapping him like a couple laps before the end. I know he was like second, third before he has a little incident. But yeah, I had a 3 second lead, and that just made me comfortable to if I made a mistake that I at least had a buffer and try to regroup to the next corner and gain the time that I lost. But if not, it wasn't a big deal.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations, Kyle. Good start for a new season. First place. You can't do better than that.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Anybody you want to thank or throw love yous out there? This is the time to do it, sir.
Just thank you to Michael for putting this league on, and you guys for broadcasting. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Jordan, can you hear me?
Copy.
All right, Jordan, a very strong outing here. You've been working your way forward pretty much the entire race. I'm not sure where you started, but I believe it was somewhere around fifth or sixth, and the only thing I've seen from you is working your way up.
Yeah, it was. I enjoy these modifieds. As soon as I saw they're putting this league on, I showed interest right away. It's a car that needs some ability to drive it, save tires, but is still quick on the short track. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight.
I noticed from the beginning you were very comfortable on staying a little bit higher than most of the guys. Was there more grip for you there? Did you come off the turns better on that higher side?
Yeah, I didn't play with my steering box at all, so I was in practice clipping the apron, and I just didn't want to do that in the race. So it started out as just a safety measure, and then I started to get a really good runs off the top, and it allowed me to kind of stay out of getting up into somebody and saving tires. So it didn't go away all night, and even at the end there, I was trying to. The lap cars were staying high, and I had to go low, and there was absolutely no grip down low.
Yeah, I know. I noticed you didn't feel comfortable down low, and yeah, it was pretty clear you you felt good up there. All right, Jordan. Once again, man, a great race. You were strong from the beginning. You were in attack mode from the beginning. We followed you quite a bit there because you made some pretty nice passes early on, and obviously it helps a little bit if people get in trouble. That helps you work your way up as well. You took a fairly early pit stop, and it looked like, to me like you came off pit road way quicker than the guys you were trailing before you went in.
Yeah, I think what happened is I just put enough fuel in to do one green white checker. So I think they put more fuel in. That way I got in front of them on the pits. I think everyone took four, so it wasn't. I took four as well. So I think it was just a matter of my crew filling up just enough fuel.
All right, I see. All right, thank you, Jordan. I'm going to have to leave it at that because we're going to be jumping into the truck race practice here shortly. We're going to do a truck race this evening as well. So thanks again. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there?
Yeah, just grandparents love when we get a broadcast, so I think they're probably watching. My family, my brother and mom and dad are always watching. Northland Leisure, XR Racing, Rockstar Energy, Momentum Crew, and obviously Realty Executives.
All right, thanks very much, Jordan, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, folks, that'll do it for the interviews. I have seen Samuel Fontaine is out there, but he is broadcasting his race himself, I believe, as far as I can tell. So we're going to have to leave it at that. This is your first round of the modified series in the short track Super League, and their new season started here with this race here today. And oops, I see I got a bad picture in there. That's the wrong league. We are at the Short Track Super League. It's Kyle Eli, Jordan Berry, and Samuel Fontaine, your top three finishers here tonight. Join us again here in a little bit. We're going to go to the trucks at Richmond Raceway. So we hope to see you there on the other side. Thanks very much.